external borrowing or this,
Mm-hmm.
plotting of new share, rights, share, etc. to this your shareholder,
Yes.
basically for funding capex.
Right.
So in that situation, if the money is coming from outside, why should I deduct this from my operating cash flow to get this current free cash flow?
Okay. 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 So the answer to your question is the two figures are different completely. When I am calculating my EBITDA or my cash operating profit, at that point in time, my objective is to find out as a business how much is the cash operating profit I am generating. And please remember, as a principle, as a rule, more the EBITDA that a business is generating, so much better it is for that business. So that is the reason why we will add the depreciation and amortization, right? And we will minus the capex. So why are we minusing the capex? Before, for arriving at the figure of the current
Free current operating cash.
yeah, free current operating cash flow. Why are we deducting the amount of capex? Because please pay attention, that is because so much of capex has already been incurred by the time you are making this statement. So much of cash, so much of the capex has already been incurred by the business at the time when you are making this EBITDA calculation or the current free cash flow, operating cash flow calculation. So at this point, when you are deducting the figure of capex or the figure of increase in the working capital, you want to find out now how much money is available in my hand. And why you want to find out how much money is available in my hand? And that is to plan as to how can I spend this money going forward. And that is the reason why you would deduct the amount of capex for arriving at the of amount of capex or the amount of working capital increase in the working capital for arriving at your current free cash operating flow.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. One question.
Please.
So now that if the company somewhere point of time they plan to do some acquisitions,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
So since now the company is having some current free operating cash in hand,
Uh-huh.
so will it help? Where will actually that fit? Decision on acquisition will be based purely on this current free operating cash, or it will be on overall EBITDA or something?
Very good. Very good. So your question is, company is acquiring another company, and your question is, will this decision of acquisition would depend on the cash flow available with the company? Okay. Now remember the
What will prompt for that decision?
say it again, please.
What will prompt that decision whether we should go for that acquisition or not?
All right. Okay. So you can mute yourself, please. Okay, thank you. So remember, the decision to acquire a company will not depend on how much cash is available with you at this juncture. Decision to acquire a company will depend on what kind of synergies your operations will have with the operations of the company that you are trying to acquire. What kind of return this acquisition is going to generate for your company. Now that will be the driving force behind taking a decision whether to go for a takeover or not to go for takeover. Having decided to take a company over, now you will have to see as to how to fund this acquisition, and it is at that point in time you will find out, all right, I am going to acquire this company because this company has got good synergies with my operations. This company is going to give me a return which is going to be 20%, and therefore I would acquire this company. Now this company's acquisition, let's say, is going to cost you 500 million euros. Now you will have to ask yourself, fine, it is an acquisition which is worth going in for. The cost involved is 500 million euros. Now you will have to ask where to fund this acquisition of 500 million euros. And at that point in time, you will check as to how much are your cash flow available internally. And let's say, for example, you have 200 million euros available internally. So you will take a decision, all right, I have got 200 million euros available internally. So I am going to use these 200 million euros for this acquisition of 500 million euros worth of the company. So now there is a gap of 300 million euros. As a company, you will have to now again take another decision where to get this 300 million euros, additional 300 million euros, because if you have to do the acquisition, you need to have this additional 300 million euros also in your hand. And now you will have to take a decision whether to get this 300 million euros by way of a debt or by way of a equity. And that is again internally you will have to take all the factors into account, control, cost of capital and everything, and then you will take a decision. So you may take a decision, okay, fine, we will go for debt. In that case, you can borrow 300 million euros from outside and 200 million euros from your pocket, 300 million euros from the debt, and this is how you will do the funding of this acquisition. So this is how you will take the decision with regard to the acquisition. That's number one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is, please look at this way also. So you are a company and you realize that you have got you got 800 million euros of cash available with you, and you check that for this 800 million euros you have no other application. Your working capital is taken care of, your loans have been taken care of, everything, your maintenance capex has been taken care of, everything has been taken care of. So you still have this 800 million euros available. So now you will have to take a decision. All right, since I have got this cash of 800 million euros available with me, I need to now look for some acquisitions. And that is the second way of looking at the cash flow. And now again, please remember, you are taking a decision to go for acquisition because you have funds available and you want to use those funds in the most optimum manner. And then you will look for the acquisition. Now, it does not mean that any acquisition that comes on your way you will grab. No, you will again look at what is my cost of capital today. So if you realize that your cost of capital is 12%, then you will do acquisition of a company only if it is going to give you a return which is more than 12%. So if you have to select out of 3 options of acquisition, you will look at the returns of these 3 acquisitions, and whichever of the companies out of these 3 is going to give you highest of the return, you will go for the acquisition of that company. And again, you would need to look at as to that company is available for how much. Let's say that company is available for 400 million euros. You got still 400 million euros available with you. So what do? You still have to use these 400 million euros. So then you will go for another acquisition. And again, you will apply the same parameter and take a decision. I hope that answers your query.
Yeah.
If no acquisition, if any other acquisition option is not available, can we give this money to shareholders dividend?
You can of course give this money to the shareholders as dividend for sure, no doubt about it, because remember, all said and done, if cash is lying with the company for a long time, then the shareholders are going to question the management of the company or the board of directors of the company, that you have been sitting on so much of cash for such a long time. What have you done with this? And then the board of directors will not have no answer to give. And if they have no answer to give, that will be a bad answer. And you are right. So that means if there is no other option available, no organic growth option available, no inorganic growth option available, then what the company will do, all right, nothing is available, let us give this money back to the shareholders as dividend. So this is how the decision would be taken by the company.